Welcome to the home of all things ballroom dance. Today's topic, what not to do in competition. So I'm going to go through some bullet points here. Let's roll. Number 1, don't express anger or exasperation to your partner on the comp floor. We all make mistakes, okay? And you will lose marks. If the judges see you have a snit on the floor, express anger or at your partner, it's not a good look, guys. Very poor sportsmanship. And we, as professionals looking at the dancers, we love dancing and we want to see you love dancing. And if we see you hating dancing, we don't want to see you do it. We're not going to call you back. So that's my number 1 suggestion. And I have a bunch more. These are not necessarily in order, but that is an important one. Okay, number 2, panicked timing. So it's very common really until you get into like the novice, gold levels. Often in competition, people let the adrenaline get the best of them and they get way ahead of the music. I'm hard pressed to think of a time I've seen a couple behind the music in comps, but jumping ahead of the music, whether that's even on the one beat or in the second half of each measure. Calm down. You are just gonna dance your level that day. There's nothing you can do that day that's going to make you 10 times better dancer. As a matter of fact, you're not going to dance your best. Don't worry about it. Stay on time. Very important. Okay, next up, number 3, not setting your alarm clock. Guilty. Okay, if you sleep through your round, they're not going to run another one for you. You have missed your event. And in my opinion, probably even worse, when people look at your results online in the future, it looks like you placed last. Because technically you did. You signed up and you didn't get any callbacks in the first round. But who wants to have a record of being a bad dancer when you're actually a skilled dancer? Rookie mistake. And trust me, I made that mistake more than just as a rookie. So don't do it. And you know what? I have a circadian rhythm like a clock. And so, I have, not as a professional, as a pro-am dancer where it's my job, but honestly, even as a pro dancer, I have no-showed my round and not made a callback because I just wasn't there. I am really ashamed to admit this, but I'm hoping to share this with you so you can learn from my mistakes. Did it as an amateur too. Not all the time. I think as an amateur it was probably just once, but anyway, don't do it. Okay, next warning. Do not wait until the last minute to unpack your costumes. First of all, it looks like you just rolled out of bed and walked in with whatever you put on because it's all wrinkled. And secondly, what if part of your costume is missing? The last thing you want to be doing, is stress yourself out at the last second, asking friends if you can borrow a costume, having to try to scramble to buy a costume at the comp. This fortunately hasn't happened to me, but you know what? I have lent costumes or costume parts many times to friends who compete or students. So, hey, save yourself the stress. You're not going to dance your best if you're under stress, and you're not going to look your best if you're showing up in a wrinkled up rag. Okay, next suggestion. Do not expect perfection. You are not going to dance your best. And guess what? Neither is anyone else. Shake it off. Part of the competition learning curve is learning to accept, and I'll use the term very liberally, failure. It's not failure. You're going to become more reliably just with exposure therapy in competition. And part of what we learn as competitors is how to perform under pressure. Because honestly, even in a social dance, you're essentially performing under pressure. In a showcase, you are performing under pressure. It is a learned skill. It never comes naturally to anyone, okay? And that's okay. That's part of why we compete, is to master that. Okay, it's kind of like public speaking. Sometimes you just got to throw it down and get over that fear, okay, guys? Okay, number 6 suggestion. Do not telegraph your disappointment in your results, whether you don't get that placement in the final that you were hoping for, whether you don't make that call back to the next round that you were expecting. You know what? Happens to everyone, okay? No one wins everything. And it's very poor sportsmanship to telegraph, I'm disappointed in what the judges thought. You're there to find out what the judges thought. If it is what it is. You know what? Have a good cry later in your hotel room alone. That's okay. That's normal. Just don't have a toot on the floor. Don't have a cry on the floor in public. Just smile gracefully, accept your results, and then go home and lick your wounds alone privately and come back out and learn as you watch the next round and watch the dancers that are better from you so you can emulate them next time. Okay, guys? You'll get there. Don't worry. Okay, number 7, never feel embarrassed by how you danced, okay? If you screwed up, everyone's focused on their own game in that comp floor, okay? They're not focused on you. That your ego is entirely inflated if you think everyone was watching with you when you messed up your pivots. They aren't. Secondly, in terms of the judge's perspective, they are there studying everyone's faults, not yours. They're not paid to sit and admire everyone on the floor. They are paid to identify everyone's faults, compare them, and be like, well, shoot, this couple had better flight. This couple had worse timing. This couple had worse shape. How do I evaluate them? That is singularly all that they're doing. Okay, guys? Next up, every dance, scrap the last dance. Do not freak out if your foxtrot didn't go well. Focus on the quick step. The judges are evaluating every dance separately, not as all 5 dances or at whatever level you are, maybe all 2 dances, all 3 dances. So, you know what? If it didn't go well, don't worry about it. Just do well in the next dance. That's all that matters. And that's all they're looking at. They are not thinking about the last 3 dances they saw or the last 20 dances they saw. They're evaluating you right now, okay? Odds are very slim that's not happening, okay? That's their job. Related to this, if you are super upset with how you danced in that first round and you did make the callbacks to the next round, hey, dust off, walk out there and do it again. Because guess what? If I, as a judge, don't call you back, but you're on the floor and obviously you've made enough recalls, I'm going to give you a second look because I'm thinking, oh, well, gosh, the other judges saw something that I missed and they're going to give you a fair shake. Don't worry. Shake it off and just do your best in that next round. That's all that matters, okay? Okay, and finally, number 10. Of course, if you're doing pro-am, your pro will kind of take care of this for you. But if you're an amateur, certainly look out for staying within syllabus. Because if you dance out of syllabus, usually only in the final round is where they crack down real hard on this, but you will be DQ'd and then you can't win. And guys, true story. I was at Nationals one year and it was a kids category where the entire final was DQ'd for dancing out of syllabus. So it was, who knows, silver, gold, I can't remember. It wasn't bronze, it was silver or gold. And no one placed because they all danced out of syllabus. And you know what? Hey, kudos to the organizers for saying, hey, we're going to stick to the rules. They need to learn how to follow them. It's sad to see everyone lose out on a placement at nationals, but you know, it is your job as a competitor to dance within syllabus. I do see a lot of grace in the initial rounds if you dance out of syllabus. You know, the scrutineer, they'll call you to the stage and they'll tell you, hey, you weren't supposed to do this figure. You can't do that open telemark in bronze, but here's what you can do to get from point A to point B, to do, you know, a reverse turn, whatever they're going to tell you. And so definitely listen to their suggestions. If you accidentally dance out of syllabus, hey, happens to many people. So I hope that has been helpful, some little helpful bullet points to avoid next time you're in competition, so you can dance and place the highest that your abilities allow you to do, and you want to do your best and show your best out there. So if you enjoyed today's video, hey, please hit the like button. I love when I get those. You have no idea how much that floats my boat and makes it worth my time here that I invest in creating daily videos for you, because I'm not sponsored. You know, I'm just here hoping to make helpful or, hey, at least entertaining videos for you guys. And if you have some more suggestions, friends, hey, please comment below. Every time I finish a video, I'm like, oh my gosh, I could have written a whole book on that topic and I missed this and this and this. And I love seeing your comments, and I know they're always very helpful for our other viewers as well. Or hey, maybe you disagree with something I said. You know what? I love hearing different opinions. I've never once deleted a comment, so feel free to share that as well. And if you enjoy all things ballroom dance, hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you in the morning. Happy dancing, friends.